Hello, this is Andrew. Welcome again to my Seiko Watches channel. I'm going to do again today another one of my, well, how accurate is it out of the box type videos that I've done before. But this one is going to be like the one I've done before with the bullhead. So this is not a new watch. All the ones I normally do are brand new cheap watches from China, and all we basically do is take them out and then see how accurate they are, straight from the manufacturer, straight from China. And to be fair, they've all been pretty good. This is one of my Seiko watches that I've sent away for, I think the best way to describe this is repair stroke service. And we'll just have a little look to see how accurate it is out of the box that it's in. And to see how it runs. Now, this is probably, well, it is one of my two favourite watches that I've got in what is just a fairly small little collection of these. And I've never been able to choose between this, which is a brown dial, 6139 60 10, sometimes referred to as the Bruce Lee ones, and I'll do a separate video on that, or this one, which is a 6138. And I've got the others here, and I like them all. I like them all a great deal in many ways, but these are probably my two favourites. So what we're going to do is just unpack it. It's still sealed up. If at any point in time it becomes apparent who has serviced it, then I'll cut that out of the video, because to be fair to the person who's serviced it, I don't really think it's fair that we put a nearly 50-year-old watch on a time grapher and expect it to be running spot on. It's just not going to happen. So I think the best you can ever achieve if you're servicing one of these old things that's that sort of age is for it to be running pretty accurately with regards to time. Inevitably, if they're this sort of age, getting on for 50, and that's what, 53 years old, then inevitably there's going to be some noise in the signal from the movement. So let's have a look. I've had this back with me for 4 days or so, but I've not had a chance to do anything with it until today. Yeah, there is a receipt inside, which we'll just leave to one side. But there it is. It's in a little plastic box, and I'll tell you why it's in a plastic box, bearing in mind it's an old watch like this, is I always send them to this gentleman in one of these plastic type boxes for two real reasons. A, you can sort of bind them up inside the box and they're completely static inside it, they won't move, and so you've got all this extra space to protect the watch. But the other reason I do it is because when it's in an envelope and you send it off, or send it back in this case as well, it's impossible to tell what's in the box, or in the package rather, because all you can feel is a hard plastic case. You'd never know with the packaging that actually there was a watch inside. So that's the real two reasons why I do that. I'm probably being a little bit over the top on that, but there you go. So let's just open this up. The big reveal, so to speak. Take a sip of coffee. Lid off. I usually send it in a bit more packaging than this, but that's my OCD kicking in. maybe like you, I have always had a bit of a problem getting my head around the fact that I've got to put one of these in the post to get it sorted out. But I always use the most expensive packing, the most expensive postal service. So there we are. That's it. Now, like I say, these are my two favourite watches. I absolutely adore, for some reason or other, this JPS 6139. So I think the proper number is 8030 on these. Yeah, and I think that's such a great looking watch. Fabulous, really. And mine's obviously on a leather strap, and I've had this for quite a long time. I've had this, well, I don't know, 8, 9 years, maybe 10 years, and it's in lovely, lovely condition. It's really, really nice. I bought it for a very modest figure of money, and the case was clearly excellent. The case is superb on this, and actually everything about it was spot on, really. It worked, and I was just lucky to get it when I did, frankly. The only thing that was wrong with it in that sense was that the dial was a bit grubby, and it was difficult to read the Seiko chronograph automatic logo underneath it. The dial itself was a bit grubby, and actually the loom was poor as well on both the hands and on the dial. So I sent it away and had it serviced and just effectively tidied up. So the dial was cleaned, and that came up really well, and then the loom was done on the indices as well as the hands as well. When I sent this off to be repaired stroke serviced, I don't know, 6, 8 weeks ago, I can't remember really, something like that. The watch was running absolutely fine, no problem at all. You could shake it and it would wind up and it would run, and it was all good. The major problem with it was that when you turned the winder to hand wind it, it would turn once and go click and stop, and then you turn it another couple of turns, click and jump again, and it would click and jump every time you turned the crown more than a turn. So something was clearly not right inside. But as we can see, that is absolutely now perfect, and so the gentleman's done a fantastic job. Now you can see all the hands are at number 12, minute recorder, and the second recorder. So I'm assuming this is all going to be fine. Yeah, there we go. Wind it up for a little bit. Spot on. I'm one of these people who, for years, didn't run these watches with the second hand running. And ultimately I've got to the point where I do agree that it's better to leave the chronograph running to reduce the wear and tear on the clutch wheel for the chronograph. That's good, more coffee. But it's running really fine by the look of that. That's good. The thing to remember, if you've got one of these, you know this already, is when you run the chronograph and you want to stop it, you do your timed whatever time you want to do, press the stop and whatever, but then run them again. And if you're going to reset them, as much as possible, make sure that the second hand is as close as you can realistically get it towards the top, so somewhere between 5.2 and 5 past. The reason for that is quite obvious. The amount of torque these generate to get from the 30-second type area and back to 0 is pretty large. And bearing in mind that this is a 76 one, you know, we're looking at something that's 47 or whatever years old. The wear inside is obviously, you know, there. So to reduce more damage to the clutch wheel, do this, and then it'll just go back. But you can use it as a stopwatch, start it, stop it, restart it, stop it. But if you're going to reset it, reset them as close as you can to 12 o'clock. So that's been wound up, that's fine. Let's put it on the time graph and just see what it's like. And I'm going to do a separate video on this, on the Bruce Lee, because I really like, this is a fascinating thing, this. So what we'll do is we'll just zoom in a bit. Yeah, just let that sit there for a moment, and let's just start it up. Now I know the lift angle is not quite right on these, it should be I think 49, but for the sake of what we're doing, 52 is perfectly all right. So there we are, let's just let that settle down for a moment and see where we're at. But straight out of the can, out of the box, one has to say, oh, that's fine, isn't it? Look at that. So amplitude is about normal for these. I don't think they get particularly high, 200, 250, something like that, even less on some of them. Beat error, so that's absolutely perfect, isn't it? Really, 0.01, it doesn't get any better than that. And then plus or 6 seconds a day, 10 seconds a day, that's really great, isn't it? I mean, that's really superb for something that's 50 years old, 47 years old. I've got no problem with that at all. Look at that. Isn't that good? These are fabulous. I've got a number of these. Well, no, I've got 12 altogether, which is not that many, but it's enough. I don't need any more. And if you've watched any of my buying story video about all 12 of these, they've all had different things done to them in terms of either servicing or just cleaning them up a bit. And again, I'm going to do a separate video on the cleaning up, really, and getting them running again, the way I'm happy with. But that's fine, that's great. So this gentleman that's done, is this the 4th or 5th one he's done? I can't remember, to be honest. I was struggling for a long time to find somebody to do these. I had somebody doing it, and then I couldn't, he stopped doing it, and I couldn't find any, but eventually I found this gentleman. Very reasonable, very happy with what he's done with me so far. So yeah, it's just a brief video unboxing 6139 8030, commonly referred to as the JPS simply because of the black and gold type colours, but I think that's a lovely thing. They're a great watch. All the little dots you can see is me banging on the table. But I think they're pretty good figures, aren't they? You know, to be honest, something at this age, if it's running around even plus or minus 30 seconds, that's a massive result, really. So this is spot on. That's excellent. So there we are. It's just a simple little video about what I really love this particular watch, and the fact that I've eventually got it back again. 6 to 8 weeks, I don't know what it is, which is fine. You send it off, you forget about it after a week that it's gone, and then eventually, without you really realising, it's turned up again. So that's great. Very pleased with that. Can't fault that. Spot on. Hope you enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing to the channel, and I'm going to do a few more videos. So thanks very much for watching. Bye.